Papi, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very good morning, students. Welcome back to my practical class. That is the
Yes, sir.
C791 Environment Engineering Lab. That is a virtual lab. The video experiment will demonstrate to you, as per your curriculum, one of the most important experiment. Although it has been done in the first stage, but the most of the students were absent. And not only that, since these experiments is very important, and those who are working under my project work in the final year project, they also find its importance, because in every water treatment plant this test is being conducted. What is that test? You guess the test which I am going to tell. That is the determination of the optimum coagulant dosage in water. Now, the wastewater contains the suspended matters. That is very true. Several lectures we have tried to explain you in various classes the characterization of wastewater, the wastewater treatment that we have taken the class of C701. Now, wastewater contains the suspended matters which can be removed by the plain sedimentation process and the filtration process. But there are the fine particle matter present in the water which cannot be easily removed by simply sedimentation process. What is that? That is the suspended minute particle, negatively charged colloidal particle, rather you would say the technical term, the colloidal particle matters, which is very, very fine, tiny particles, which are colloidal state, negatively charged particle. They are not easily settleable by following the Stokes law in the sedimentation process. So, how they can be removed? Because they makes the turbid in Bengali, which we are calling it a ghola. জলটা কিরকম ঘোলা ঘোলা লাগছে, we are saying like this terminology. So same thing, turbid means that. So turbidity arises in the water has due to the presence of the suspended colloidal matters, which can be removed only by the coagulation flocculation process. Last year we visited to the Joy Hind Jal Prokolpo near the bypass Dhapa, and we have seen the coagulation flocculation tank, which we will technically call it as a clariflocculator. What do we mean by the clariflocculator? Clarifier means the sedimentation process. I mean to say the clarifier means the sedimentation. Clariflocculator. There are two terminology we are using. One is the flocculation, another is the clarification. So what do we mean by the flocculation? Flocculant tank. Now here we are using the coagulation come flocculation. When I am telling, this is called the physicochemical treatment process. You must have seen in the treatment plant what we have visited with you all in the last year. And I mean to say the coagulation flocculation process is what? Because we are adding the coagulant in the chemicals. For example, the alum is a very, very popular chemical, which is Al2SO4 whole 3 aluminum sulfate, it calls. Then we can call the ferric chloride the FeCl3. That is one of the valuable. Ferric chloride is also the coagulant. Then hydrated lime and the ferric sulfide ferrous sulfide is the examples of the coagulant. But most commonly you are using the alum. Those who are doing the project under my guidance, they are doing the project work. Now the alum is Al2SO4 18H2, 18 molecules of water. Then alum generally used all over in the world for is the most commercial popular coagulant, rather I would say, which you are using in the coagulation flocculation system. So what is the coagulation flocculation? Coagulation means we are using the coagulant. This coagulant is the chemicals, and that attract the negatively charged, because these are the positive charge particle opposite. So negative charge finite particles matter is the suspended colloidal matter. So then positive negative attract to each other, that will no opposite. So the coagulant will attract the negatively charged particle, and this is called the physical process. Why I am telling? Because this process is being conducted in rapid rotation basis, because the blade is there in the plant and blade are being rotated. So physical operation is there. Rotation means the physical process. Why rotation action takes place? Because of bringing those positive charge particles, negative charge particle to come in contact with the positive charge particle, that is the coagulant. If the negative charge and positive charge come close to each other by means of the physical rotation, which we call it a physical process, obviously there will be some process will be facilitated to make them a flock, because they will conglomerate, they will prepare the flock, and after making the flock, they will precipitate under the treatment basis. So this is the basic fundamental thing. Why we are using the coagulant? Coagulant are basically chemicals. These are the positively charged particles. They attract the negatively charged particles, and the negatively charged particles, the minute particles which is not easily settleable, they come in contact with the coagulant and prepare say flocks. And once these prepare say flock, then they will gain weight and they will settle. So by this is the process. Is this process is clearly understood, my dear students? Is this process is clearly understood, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, why coagulation and flocculation? Because coagulation and flocculation process, why it is called the physicochemical process? Because coagulant, when you are adding, you are maintaining a rapid motion, that is the physical motion. Why? For bringing the coagulant come in contact with the suspended particulate matters, that is the negatively charged particles. So since physical process, we are rotating the blade, that's why it is a physico. And why chemical process? Means when the coagulant is a chemical agent, is a chemical basically it's a chemical. When it adds with the suspended negatively charged particle, they make a reaction chemical, and they prepare a flock. So it is a combination of a physico-chemical process. So that's why we are calling it a physico-chemical process. So only one classic example I am giving you in the treatment process, that is the physico-chemical process, is the coagulation cum flocculation. So if any question asked in the interview also for your placement purpose, I think you will be acknowledged, because there is only classic example of the physicochemical process is the example of the coagulation cum flocculation. Coagulation means it is a physical process. By physical operation, coagulation is being mixed by rapid mixing motion with the suspended colloidal particle matters. And flocculation means it helps to making the flock by chemically reaction. So it's a combination of the physical reaction, a physical operation, that means rapidly mixing, that will show in the very soon in the experiment, and the chemical reaction facilitating for making the flocks. So it's a combination of the physicochemical process. This is the practical example I am citing you for the treatment plant where we visited near the bypass Rupi Dhapa, bypass Science City Dhapa. That is the Joy Hind Jal Prakalpo of the Calcutta Municipal Corporation. There the round circular tank, that is clariflocculator in technological terminology we are using. Clariflocculator is nothing but the coagulation cum flocculation tank. Is this portion is clear, my dear students, so far I have discussed? Is this portion is clear, my dear students, so far I have discussed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let us share the experiment how I can demonstrate to you, because you will see the process, how the experimental process, I will show you the each and every step by step which is being followed in virtual platform. Everything it will be clear to you, because this test not only carried out in the research educational institute like yours in university, colleges, etc., but this setup you must have seen implemented in the water treatment plant also. Because when we visited again I am telling the one plant, the Joy Hind Jal Prakalpo, there the setup I have also shown, because without this setup the treatment plant cannot run. Because what purpose we have gathered here? For determining the optimum coagulant quantity, optimum quantity dosage of coagulant which will be required for clearing the water. That means for our treatment unit, for our treatment purpose, what amount of optimum coagulant you have to add in the coagulation cum flocculation tank, that you have to determine. So how do engineers, civil engineers will judge the optimum value in the plant where they are working? Suppose in the water treatment plant or wastewater treatment plant, how they will judge? So they have already the setup of laboratories in the plant where they are conducting the jar test, and that jar test I am going to share you in the video. So my dear students, you have understood what is the importance of the jar test, because this is not only for getting the marks for your grade card promotion. This is all over practiced in every water treatment, water treatment plant for treatment of the water as well as the wastewater. And you must have visited any plant you go here, you will see the jar test apparatus, because in the jar test apparatus is required in the plant for calculating the optimum dose of coagulant which the plant operator add in the basin for treatment of the water. So let us see how the process is going on, how the laboratory experiment is carried out in this process. Okay, so let me share the screen first and you will respond whether the screen is visible or not. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible? Is the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Is the screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see, this is just a minute. Step by step, every point I am just going to tell. What is this? This is the wastewater sample. Can you see wastewater sample? This is basically the turbid wastewater, because it contains the I mean to say the suspended matters, minute suspended matters present in the water, which is not easily settleable by the simple process of sedimentation or by the filtration. So it makes the water turbid. So this is the wastewater, calling it is a turbid water. You can see visually how much turbidity is there by color. So in Bengali, which we are calling it is a ghola jal. So this turbidity cannot be removed easily by the sedimentation and the filtration process. So that's why there is a challenging task for us for making the for determining the optimum dosage of coagulant, that is the chemical which will be adding into this water to clarify the water. Okay, so I am just showing you the experiment. Just make an observation, keep on eyebird on this video, and I will show you how and what is the process is being exactly followed. Just a minute. You see, when the coagulant is added, this is a rapid mix and sieve attraction process is going on. What do you mean by the attraction process? Now, opposite means positive and negative, we are coming too close to each other. That means the coagulant are the positive charge, and the I mean to say the suspended minute colloidal suspended matters are the negative charge. So negative and positive charge are close to each other by due to rapid mixing. So that figure I have tried to explain you. And once they mix, then they settle. When they prepare the frogs, now they are falling down. So that type of picture I am just trying to show you. Now this is the, as I told you, the jar test apparatus. So you see, this is the jar test apparatus. So this is the stirrer, and this is the paddle. What do again? I am repeating the thing. What is the stirrer? Just a minute. Just a minute. I am going to show you the stirrer. Now this is the stirrer. The top portion is the stirrer, and this is the bottom portion is the paddle or blade. You can see rotating blade. Those 6 blades are there in the jar test apparatus. You can see those who are diploma, they have lateral intake, BTech admitted. They have already done this experiment. Now this paddle can up and or can down. Okay, because this paddle can up and down, and this is the this is the motor. This motor will operate the rotation. This motor is basically operates the electric motor, operates the stirrer and speed control here. That is 0 to 130 RPM. 0 to 130 RPM. By rotating this switch, we can control the speed. And this is the timer. Timer means to prefix the time of coagulant, whether the rotation will be 1 minute or 2 minutes, that timer will be there. And this is the base of metal housing provided with the transparent sheet. Transparent sheet that can be illuminated by tube light, because unless you see how the illumination is takes place, and this illumination will help you to make an observation how much water will be clear. And this top portion is the countermeasure, that is the number of rotation takes place, that will be reading reflected on there the counter portion, which is the top portion, because the number of rotation, how many times of number of rotation, that figure will be reflected in the top portion. Okay, now this is the, apart from that equipment, there are the glassworks are there, 6 jars are there. Okay, now measuring cylinder 1 liter is there. Okay, now the there the pipette 10 millimeter and more than there, 10 millimeter and more than pipette is there. So these are the glasswares we are indicating how, what are the glasswares are required for that experimental work for this optimum dose of water. This is a bucket, 10 liter bucket that contains the 6-7 liter water, because the 6 number jars you require the 6 liter water. So to some extent, considering the wastage 7 liter wastewater we have collected in the bucket for pouring into the 6 jars of 1 liter each, that is the 6 liter, but you require the 6 liter water. So by making the safety, we have taken the 7 liter in the bucket. Now you pour the wastewater into the jar of measuring cylinder. Sorry, you pour the wastewater into the measuring cylinder of 1 liter and measure the quantity, that is the 1 liter quantity. You just measure by the lower meniscus. You know how to measure the cylinder, that is a lower meniscus observation will be there, that you must know. So that 1 liter when collected, you pour into the jar. Okay. Similar process will be carrying by the 5 beakers. Again, the 6 jars will be filled by the same process with the 6 liters of water. So you mark the jar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the tagging marks is being done for 6 liter jars. Okay. So these are the coagulant we are using: hydrated lime, alum. Why it is bleaching? Because the alum Al2SO4 and the ferric chloride FeCl3 are the most popular coagulants which you are using, the civil engineers use in the environmental engineering lab as well as in plant for using the coagulant for this process. Okay. Now this indicates the alum, that is the Al2SO4. Now we'll make the solution. What solution we'll make? We'll say make the 1% alum solution. What do you mean by the 1% alum solution? Now you take 1 gram of alum per 1 liter of distilled water. Again, I'm telling you, take 1 gram of alum in 1 liter of distilled water. Then you will have an 1% alum solution. So you know how to percentage solution is prepared. 1% solution means 1 gram. Take the powder 1 gram and pour into the 1 liter distilled water. So that will give the 1% alum. Okay. Now you take why 6 jars are required for the experiment? Because you have to make a varying dose of the alum, because you are going to determine the optimum dosage of alum. You do not know exact what alum. Kindly mute your device, please. Kindly mute your device, please. I request kindly mute your device, please. So one of varying dosage of alum will be taken place from that 1% concentration of the alum, those which you have prepared just now, from their 5 millimeter, 10 ml, 15 ml, 20 ml, 25 ml, 30 ml. So on increased value of 5 ml each successive, we will be filling the jar accordingly. So first jar will be filled with the 5 ml, then will be 10 ml, then will be 15 ml. So the 6 jars will contain the varying amount of the alum. Is this portion is clear, my dear students? Is this portion is clear, my dear students? Fine.
Yes,
so what we have done, 6 jars containing 1 liter each of the wastewater, and there we are putting the varying amount of, we are inserting the varying amount of the alum dosage, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like these things. because we do not know which alarm dosage will give the maximum renewable turbidity. That process we are going to see. Okay, now you now place on the transparent sheet, that is the six places we are placing the 6 numbers of jars: jar 1, jar 2, jar 3, jar 4, jar 5, jar 6. Okay, so you see how the jars have been placed. Here the wastewater is there and the coagulant dosage are already there. Now you are going to add the paddle, that is the starter you are using, because the rotating operation will be starting very soon by operating the motor. So at a certain level you can lower the paddle and then lock the system. You see how the lock, again you just unlock, lower the pedal and then lock. You see how the process of lowering is being shown to you. At the same depth, of equal depth, you have to do these things by eye observation. So it's a skillful job, but you have to do very carefully, and I mean to say the in a perfect manner, so precise manner rather I would say. So this is the thing. Now I am going to on the motor. First 100 to 120 rpm for 1-2 minutes. That is the high speed, because the physical operation taking place. Because with these high speeds, you make an observation. That the rotation has been taken place for 1 to 2 minutes with 100 to 120 rpm. Can you see the rotation, please? Can you see the rotation? Can you see the rotation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this rotation basically 100 to 120 revolution per minute, and this duration is 1 to 2 minutes. So first is high speed rotation takes place because they should come to contact with each other. Positive and negative should come to contact with each other so that they can mix and can prepare the flock. Then you suddenly after 1 to 2 minutes you just make slow the rotation. And what is the next rotation speed? That is for 20 rpm for 20 minutes. So 100 rpm to 20 rpm, I am just reducing the speed after 1 to 2 minutes. You see how slowly move now the paddle rotates. Okay. Now this 20 rpm will continue for 20 minutes. This 20 rpm will continue for 20 minutes, and after that you switch off and allow this to settle, because they have prepared the flock preparation already been done. Now we have to give in the time for settle. Since settling operation is going on, so we have to off the motor, we have to reduce the rotation, we have to stop the rotation, and how you see the figure how the particle matter settle, forming the flock, how they settle into the tank. And that's why the clarification, the clearing of the water takes place. Now make an observation that which dosage gives the maximum clarity of water. By observation, eye observation you can take, but you can take the turbidity test also. I have already conducted you the turbidity test, how to in the nephelometric turbidity meter, how the turbidity being tested. So do you take the sample from each beaker and test the turbidity, and it will be seen that the number 2 beaker, where the 10 ml concentration is 10 ml dosage was added, that gives the maximum clarity, that gives the maximum removal of the turbidity. So the optimum dosage here, the 20 ml has been found. So in this process jar test, we are providing the we are determining the in actually which dose the we are getting the optimum dosage. But again, this is not the all, because something I have to say. Just a minute. Papia, am I audible? Papia, am I audible? Yeah.
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
actually, what happened, you have added 5 millimeter, 10 ml, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now, in between the dosage may occur which give the optimum result, that you do not know. Perhaps you are observing physically only 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So what will be that answer? I expect some students will ask me the question, sir, in between the dosage 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, there may be some dosage where we get the maximum clarity of water, that is the maximum removal of the turbidity. How that can be found out? Yes, it's a very valid question. Answering that question, I must say you, my dear students, that we are plotting the graph, actually the turbidity versus the dosage. And from the graph itself, we are finding out what is the minimum dosage corresponding to the minimum turbidity. So that is the process. So physical observation, it is fine, but you have to draw a graph, as I have told you before also in the class. Horizontal is the dosage of the alum and vertical is the turbidity, and find out dosage versus turbidity, dosage versus turbidity, dosage versus turbidity. 6 points are there because 6 jars are there, so 6 values are there. So you plot the 6 points and draw the graph, and from that graph you find out what is the minimum amount of the turbidity corresponding to the dosage will be the optimum dosage that you have to use the plant. Any question, fundamental question from this part, my dear students? Any question, please? Any question, please? Any question, please, regarding this experimental process? Then we'll go to the virtual lab. Okay, I think it is clear. Papia, are you
Yes,
ready
sir.
with your virtual lab, or I will show? Are you ready with your virtual lab, or I will show?
Sir, I'm ready. Now, this is the process to determine the optimum alum dose for water or wastewater treatment by Jattis. So, virtual lab. So, first we will know which apparatus we use for conducting this experiment in our laboratory. So, these are nephelometer tube, pipette, beaker, stirrer, and measuring cylinder. This is the experimental setup. So this is the magnetic stirrer, and this is a beaker, and this is the nephelometer, which is used to measure the turbidity of the wastewater sample, and this is the nephelometer tube. Step 1, first we take 500 ml of water sample in 6 beaker using measuring cylinder. So first we take 500 ml of water sample with the help of measuring cylinder. Now we keep this measured water sample into a beaker. Repeat the same procedure for remaining 5 beaker. There are mentioned that we have to fill up 6 beaker, and each will filled up with 500 ml of water. Now we have already filled up 1 beaker, so we will also fill up remaining 5 beaker. Now this is the 6th beaker, which is each beaker is filled with 500 ml of water sample. Now add different doses of alum solution to the 6th beaker. So this is the 6th beaker, and this is the container of alum solution. So we add different doses of solution to the 6th beaker. Here also given that one is blank. This one is blank means we will not add alum to a beaker out of 6 beaker. So say this is the beaker number 1. Here we don't add any alum dose. And this is the beaker number 2. Here we add 1 ml, and here we add 2 ml, and here we add 3 ml, and here we add 4 ml, and last of all here we add 5 ml. As there is mentioned that we add different doses of alum solution. Now we take alum solution with the help of pipette. Now this is the beaker number 2, where we add 1 ml. And this is the beaker number 2. Sorry, beaker number 3, where we add 2 ml. And this is the beaker number 4, where we add 3 ml. This is the beaker number 5, where we add 4 ml alum dose. In the last beaker, we add 5 ml alum dose. Unit of turbidity is NTU, where NTU stands for nephelometric turbidity units. Now stir the mixture thoroughly at 100 rpm for 1 minute and 30 rpm for 29 minutes. Here 100 rpm, rpm means 100 rpm means revolution per minute, and 30 rpm means 30 revolution per minute. So first we place the beaker in the appropriate position. Similarly, keep remaining 5 beakers under the appropriate stirrer. Now lower all the stirrer such that similarly lower all the stirrer such that the blade of the stirrer is below the top of water level. Now we power on the system. Here is given that first we set the stirrer at 100 revolution per minute for 1 minute. So first we set the revolution 100 and then we set the timer. Here is given for 1 minute. So we set the time for 1 minute. After 1 minute, the stirrer will stop because we have to set up for 1 minute. Then after 1 minute, then we set 30 rpm for 29 minutes. Now we set revolution 30 rpm and for 29 minutes. So we set the timer for 29 minutes. So after 29 minutes, the stirrer will stop automatically. Now here we don't wait for 29 minutes. We just stop this system. And after 29 minutes, we take out the beaker from the stirrer. Similarly, take out the remaining beakers from the stirrer. Take the nephelometer tube, fill it with the sample in the beaker. Then, so now we measure the turbidity of this water sample. So this is the nephelometer tube. First, we fill up this nephelometer tube with the water sample. Similarly, fill all the nephelometer tubes. Now this is the process of calibration of nephelometer. This is the very important to measure to calibration of nephelometer to determine the turbidity of wastewater. This is the nephelometer This is the power system, and there is the two knob also. One is for coarser and another is the fine knob. And this is the range which is given the value 0 to 1000, and this is the collar. So first we on the system, and then we place the sample cell. This is the sample cell which is called nephelometer tube, which is filled with distilled water. So first we place this nephelometer tube in the nephelometer. Yeah, the value is 0.030. Now we set the reading to 0 by adjusting coarse and fine knob. Now the value is 0. Now place 100 NTU calibration standard in the sample holder of nephelometer and adjust the calibrate knob to set the reading to 100. So this is the nephelometer tube which is filled with 100 NTU. NTU means nephelometer turbidity unit, which is filled with 100 NTU calibration standard. So first we place this nephelometer tube. Place this in the nephelometer. Yeah, the value is 97.00. Now we adjust the calibrate knob to set the reading to 100. Now we have turned the value at 100. So the apparatus is totally set at 0 and 100. Now if we put the unknown sample in the nephelometer, then we will see the accurate value of the turbidity of this unknown sample. Nephelometer has to be calibrated in order to eliminate or reduce the blast in its reading over a range for all continuous values. Of course, true. Now we measure the turbidity of unknown sample. Now this is the nephelometer tube which is filled with unknown sample. Now we place this nephelometer tube in the nephelometer and then measure the turbidity of this sample. So the value of turbidity of water sample is 44.4. Similarly, measure the turbidity of remaining samples. Okay. Now, coagulation is a slow mixing technique which promotes agglomeration and helps the particles to settle down. False. Now, there are 6 water samples, and this is their value of turbidity. So this is the observation table, and here is given the volume of alum solution added, and there is also given their turbidity value. So there is a column of alum dose which we added per liter. So there is given the hints that 1 ml of alum solution equal 10 milligram of alum per liter. 1 ml of alum solution equal 10 milligram of alum per liter. So here is given that volume of alum solution is 1 ml. So alarm dose is 10 milligram. So we put the value here to 10. Here of course 0. And 1 ml, for 1 ml we use 10 milligram, and for 2 ml we use of course 20, and for 3 we use 30, and for 4 ml we use 40 gram, and for 5 ml we use 50 gram. Now we check the result. So the result is for 0 ml alarm solution we added of course 0 milligram per liter, and for 5 ml alarm solution we add 50 milligram per liter alarm dose. Then we plot a curve, turbidity versus alarm dose. So this is the graph where we plot turbidity versus alarm dose. Turbidity is plotted on y-axis and alarm dose is plotted on x-axis. Now there is a question: what is the optimum chlorine dose? Optimum chlorine dose means if here the value is 0 alarm dose, that means 0 milligram per liter. So we take the straight line on this curve, and at which point the straight line is intersect, that point we draw a vertical line. So we easily get the value of alarm dose for milligram per liter. So the value is near equal 15. We put the value 15 milligram per liter. Now we check the value is then what is the optimum quantity of alarm required for the given sample with turbidity 2.5 NTU? That is 15.2 milligram per liter. So this is the correct answer. So the optimum quantity of alarm required for the given sample with turbidity 2.59 NTU is 15.2 milligram per liter. So this is the total process to determine the alarm dose in virtual lab. So if you have any doubt, please tell me. I will repeat this part.
Actually, what we tried to convey to you in the video experiment, we have shown you the process, and that virtual lab, for your practice purpose, since you are not, it is not possible for you to physically present in the lab in our college. So that is the only media where you can practice. So you can practice. We are sitting here, and you can ask me any questions if you have any problem. But one thing most important, I want to highlight you: the optimum dosage cannot be directly made a conclusion by physical eye observation without drawing the curve, because you do not know perhaps what is the optimum value between the range. Suppose you have taken, as Papia madam or I have demonstrated, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. See, in between which value is the optimum value of the coagulant dosage, that you have to determine once your curve is plotted, because you have to find out from the curve what is the minimum value of turbidity. That is the minimum value of turbidity means maximum clarity of water, maximum treatment of water. That is our goal. So minimum corresponding turbidity, that is the curve minimum point, you have to locate, and corresponding to abscissa, that is the x-axis value, that is the concentration of the coagulant, will give you the optimum dosage of coagulant giving the maximum clarity of water. This process is practiced in the water treatment plant also. Now, okay, thank you, Subhajit. Thank you very much. Subhajit has come up with the sharing the screen of virtual lab. Okay, over to Subhajit. Subhajit, you please unmute yourself. Your voice is not audible. Subhajit, your voice is not audible. You please unmute yourself. Those who will be sharing the screen will get the bonus point. Will get the +5 bonus point.
স্যার এটা কি স্যার পুরো বলবো আমি স্যার পুরোটা?
Speak in English, not in Bengali.
ওকে
We
স্যার।
don't understand Bengali. Please carry on.
Today our experiment is alum coagulation. So objective is to determine the optimum alum dosage for water or wastewater treatment by jar test. So the apparatus needed is the nepthohalometer, the tube, the pipette, beaker, stirrer, and the measuring cylinder. So here is the total process, the sketch.
Simulation press for simulation, not procedure. Simulation, right? Okay.
That's why we request you kindly make a trial in front of us. Whatever the problems, what are the difficulties you are facing, we always are here to guide you, my dear students. So kindly press simulation. Sujit, are you getting my point, Sujit?
Yes.
Now you got the point.
শুভজিৎ, তো দুটো মাইক্রোফোন অন আছে, একটা অফ কর, ভাইব্রেট হচ্ছে তাই জন্য।
Okay, Sujit, one microphone just on.
দুটো জায়গা থেকে অন হয়েছিস, একটা অফ করে দে।
Carry on, Sujit, carry on. One microphone you just off. It is creating echo.
ঠিক আছে, না পারলে স্টার্ট কর, অসুবিধা নেই।
Okay, carry on, Sujit. Forget about the microphone. Please carry on. Sujit, carry on. Okay.
হ্যাঁ, নেক্সট কর, অ্যারোটা প্রেস কর, নিচের অ্যারোটা, হ্যাঁ প্রেস কর, নিচে
You have to
রাইট
press the
সাইড।
So,
arrow. You have to press the arrow.
in this test, the solution uses the water sample and the alum solution, that is Al2SO4 whole 3 18 H2O, and the total process is shown in the chart, and the next step is
উপরের দিকে তোর লেখাটা আছে, হ্যাঁ।
You click the arrow. You click the direction of the arrow. Sujit, you click the direction of the arrow.
এই যে অ্যারোটাতে ক্লিক কর, অ্যারোটাতে ক্লিক কর, হ্যাঁ।
Arrow bottom click kor. Arrow bottom. You click the bottom of the arrow. Yeah. Kindly unmute yourself and tell. Unmute yourself and tell whatever the incident is being occurred. You tell. This is the process. You tell whether you have learned or not.
So at first, sir, take 500 ml of water in the 6 beaker using measuring cylinder. So
You go on operating. Yes, yes, yes.
sir, we take the 6 beaker and each beaker is contain of 500 ml of water. Then, sir, the alum solution here.
ব্ল্যাক অ্যারোটার উপরে প্রেস কর, ব্ল্যাক অ্যারোটার উপরে, এই যে এখানে যেটা আছে ভালভের নিচে, ওখানে না, এই যে ভালভ আছে, ভালভের নিচে যে অ্যারোটা, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
Press down arrow.
হ্যাঁ, পুরো অ্যারোটার উপরে ক্লিক কর, এই যে ব্ল্যাকটা,
You just follow the direction of the arrow, please. Sujit, you will follow
sir.
the direction of the arrow, please. Direction of the arrow. Okay.
Yes.
এবার এখানে প্রেস কর, এগুলো বলতে থাক। Here mention that one is blank, so we don't add alarm at first beaker.
Okay. In the second beaker, we take the 1 ml of solution, and then in the third beaker, we take the 2 ml of alum solution.
শুভজিৎ, দেখ অ্যারোটা কোন দিকে দেখাচ্ছে, হাতের উপরে দেখাচ্ছে, তাই হাতের উপরে ক্লিক কর। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
Okay.
You follow the direction of the arrow and accordingly you click and you will get the thing.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You
In
have
the
to
fourth beaker,
practice.
we take the in the fourth beaker, we take the 3 ml of alum solution. Then in the fifth beaker, we take the 4 ml of solution, and in the last beaker, we take the 5 ml of solution.
Beautiful. Good. Carry on. Very, very good. Very good, Sujit. Carry on. Carry on, Sujit.
Unit of turbidity is NTU, where NTU stands for, I think, sir, it is the second option.
Nephrometric turbidity unit. Okay, fine. NTU. You just put that arrow. You just put that arrow. Put that arrow. You click on the arrow portion of the text portion. Arrow. Yeah. You scroll down. You scroll down the menu, and there you put the NTU. Okay.
অ্যারোটার উপরে ক্লিক কর শুভজিৎ।
You have to practice. Then it will be okay.
ভালো করে অ্যারোটার উপরে ক্লিক কর, নাহলে হবে না তো, এগোবে না প্রসেস। ব্ল্যাকটার উপরে ভালো করে ক্লিক কর।
ম্যাম আমার এখানে তো ম্যাম চলে এসেছে, 4টে অপশন শো করছে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, এখানে দেখাচ্ছে।
ওকে, NTU দিয়ে দে, NTU সিলেক্ট করে দে।
ম্যাম সেকেন্ডটা তো স্যার নিউরোফোনিমেট।
থার্ডেরটা নেফ্রোমিটার টার্বিডিটি ইউনিট।
ওকে
ঠিক আছে।
Fine. Carry on, Subhajit. Carry on. Beautiful. Good. Very good. Carry on.
Then in the step 3, sir, stir the mixture through at the 100 RPM for 1 minute and 30 RPM for 29 minutes. So start the process, and we have to place the beaker in the appropriate position.
নিচটাতে ক্লিক কর, নিচে যেখানে ব্ল্যাক, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
While operating, continue to say something so that the class will be interesting. Otherwise, all students will feel bored, like we will be feeling boring. Continue talking while operating. Okay, so we practice this thing because one day you will be the
Yes, sir.
teacher.
Yes, sir.
I will not be there in the world, but you will be the teacher. So continue on walking, continue on saying while operating the virtual mode. Otherwise, we will be feeling bored.
So at first, so sir, at first we stirred the mixture for 1 minute with the speed of 100 RPM, and now it is going through for 29 minutes for with the speed of 30 RPM in the Jartes apparatus.
But okay, but it is not rotating. We are not seeing rotation of the blades. Sujit, kindly rotate. Rotation is not being observed. Kindly take care of the thing. Sujit,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
your screen I am not seeing. Have you answered? Can anybody see the screen of Sujit?
আনসার হয়ে গেছে
Yeah.
সুজিত আবার শেয়ার কর
Sujit, please share your screen. Your screen is not
Yes,
at all
yes.
visible. Kindly share. You have answered your screen, my dear student. Kindly share. Are you sharing?
Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Carry on, Sujit. You just
sir.
rotate the blade so that we can get enjoy because we like to see the rotation of the blade. Then we feel enjoy. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because now I am not a professor, I am like a student. I am watching when you will rotating the blade. And I am watching that moment.
Okay, sir. And in this step, we take the diplometer tube and fill with the sample with the
Which tube?
beaker of
Hey, 1 minute. Which tube? Which tube? Which tube we are telling?
nephalometer tube.
Right, carry on.
Similarly, it will do for the other 6 tube, and then in the we will proceed with the next process, that is calibration of nephalometer. Switch on the power and then
আর 31 মার্চ হচ্ছে রেজিস্ট্রেশন। ওকে, এখন সময় আছে, ভালো করে দাও। একদম সিঙ্গেল বুক চ্যাপ্টার, যেটা আমরা দুপুরে তোমার আগে আমি কমেন্ট করব। তাহলে এখানে চারটে কোলাবোরেশন মতো থাকবে, জাপান, সিঙ্গাপুর, সুইজারল্যান্ড, অস্ট্রেলিয়া, আমেরিকা।
মানে এটা ট্রু করবো না ফলস করবো?
হ্যাঁ ট্রু। বলতে থাক মেজারমেন্ট অফ টার্বিডিটি অফ আননোন স্যাম্পল। False
এটাই
next for
নেক্সট কর এরপরে আছে অ্যান্সার নেক্সট।
result
তোমাকে কিন্তু
next for গ্রাফটা দেখাবে।
এরপরে গ্রাফ আছে দেখ।
টার্বিডিটি ভার্সাস অ্যালাম ডোজের উপরে ক্লিক কর। নিচে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ওখানে। কত হবে রেড লাইনটা যেখানে ইন্টারসেক্ট করেছে কার্ভটাকে, যেটা ভার্টিক্যাল লাইন হয়েছে, রেড লাইনের ওই ভার্টিক্যাল ডিসটেন্সটা কোথায় পড়েছে? 20 আর 30 এর মধ্যে কোন পজিশন? 25 এর থেকে একটু কম হবে, মেবি 24।
23.8 and 2.57 in the y-axis, 2.57 y-axis and x-axis 20.
এক্স অ্যাক্সিস বরাবরটা নে 20। আমরা তো অ্যালাম ডোজটা নিচ্ছি না, অ্যালাম ডোজ তো এক্স অ্যাক্সিস বরাবর, তো এক্স অ্যাক্সিস বরাবর 23 হবে হয়তো। প্রেস কর
23.8,
23.8 হবে ওটা।
ওখানে ভ্যালুটাকে লেখ, তারপর চেক কর।
Okay. So sir, our optimum chlorine dosage is 23.8 milligram per liter.
তো যেটা অ্যান্সার এসছে। আর কারো ডেস্কটপ আছে? হ্যালো,
okay, thank you, Subhajit. You can answer, please. Subhajit, you can answer, please. Now,
Sir,
thank you very much for your attempt for demonstrating the practical class to us. It was a nice that you have presented a class to us, quite successful. Go on practice. Definitely you will improve. But
হ্যাঁ স্যার দেখতে পাচ্ছেন?
yeah. Now you see the manual which you have uploaded already in the Google Classroom. The heading is the determination of the suitable dose of. Well, ultimately, you have to submit the report. So, what you have to do for your assessment, you have to submit the report for each and every experiment. Now, this manual you have to follow regarding the reporting part. What you have to write now, determination of the your test is today we have conducted. That is the determination of the suitable dose of coagulation, suitable dose of coagulation. Now, make it correction, suitable dose of coagulants. So that's why I am just highlighting this matter. Determination of suitable dose of coagulants. It has to be. It is a typing mistake, my dear students. Correct it. Suitable dose of coagulants in water. Okay. So this is called the jar test. Experiment number will be the number of experiment. Suppose it may be 5th or 6th in order which you are following. That experiment number you will give, and the date. Date means today's date you will give, or earlier if you have attended the earlier class, that date if you remember you can, or else that experimental date is very very important. I am telling you, my dear students, that's why I am just sharing the screen. So date, kindly note it down that today is the 7th December. We have executed the JAT test. So kindly note it down in your notebook, refer, it will be helpful for, otherwise we will forget in which date experiment is being occurred. Now the
Sir.
any test, yeah,
Experiment number 10.
experiment number 10, but date should be, because what generally the students follow, they are forgetting because they are not writing in due time, so date is forgotten by them. So just now, once the experimental class is over, practical class is over, note down the date. That is, today is the 7/12/2022. The test conducted is the optimum dosage of coagulation of water in water. Okay. So then you will understand which date we'll write, because date is very important. Otherwise, at a time, if you submit all the reports, which date, which experiment was done, is not possible for you as well as for us to remember. So you have to note down, my dear students. Now, very beginning, I am telling you what is the methodology of writing the report as per the catalog. That is the objective. First, you have to write the objective of the test. That means we are spending so much time in the good morning in Monday, 10 to 1 p.m. Why you are spending so much time? Some objective should be there. What you are learning, what is the objective, that why you are going to test? So that objective has to be clear. So what is the objective? To determine the most effective dosage of here you will write to determine the optimum dosage of coagulant for coagulation and flocculation of a treatment of water. Kindly note it down what you will write. To determine the optimum dosage of coagulant for treatment, or in optimum dosage of coagulant in where? Optimum dosage of coagulant for coagulation and flocculation. For coagulation and flocculation is a treatment system. For coagulation and flocculation of water treatment, that will be your writing procedure. What will be the objective? Again, I am telling, to determine the optimum dosage of coagulant for coagulation and flocculation in water treatment. Okay. Now, apparatus and glassware. What will be the apparatus? JAT test apparatus. In this is a in-house a house system JAT test apparatus. Now, then the nephrometer, nephrometric turbidimeter, and 1 liter. And this is the apparatus and glassware, means the beakers are there. 6 beakers of 1 liters are there. Pipettes or 10 ml are there. Cylinder we have taken 1 liter of there. That you have to write very clearly. So come on, Papia. Then the procedure, just pointwise you will write. Papia, please raise the slide so that I can. Procedure means number 1. First, the procedure is you have to write at your own. There, I am requesting, my dear students, don't copyright from the manual. And if you write your procedure, maybe right, maybe wrong from your end, because you are learning stage, you will get definitely the good marks. That you will see they who are copy pasting from the manual or who write from themselves, because you have seen the experiment, you have gone through the virtual lab platform, because the virtual lab link already is with you several times. Click the link and repeat the test from your convenience if you forget the thing. And the procedure you will write, I will not dictate. It is the innovative part I want to, because when we were the students, we used to write the procedure as our teachers at that time advised us. So we used to write the procedure at our own. That should not be dictated by the teachers. That should not be copy pasted by the students, by their colleagues. So every time the procedure has to be in a different manner. That is the ownership of the students. Students have 100% right to the step-by-step procedural writing of the procedure at their own. I wouldn't mind if you have done any mistake, because I will appreciate if you have put your value in procedure. Don't copy paste from the manual. Manual is a standard procedure. Don't copy paste from the manual. Again and again I am telling, and Papia, I will also tell you to advise the students accordingly. Procedure should be their indigenous. Procedure should not be copy paste by friends, copy paste from manuals. Because what faculties, technical assistants want to see whether the students have understood the test or not. Fine. Observation and data sheet, that total sheet will depend on your virtual lab exercise. Just like Sujit Ghosh has shown how he has done the experiment, what value you have got, how we have drawn the curve. So that observation data sheet and the Excel curve, because here we are working in the virtual platform, no hard copy graph business is there. You can draw the graph in the Excel sheet in the software, and the abscissa will be the alarm dosage and ordinate will be the turbidity. So you can draw the curve in the Excel sheet, and from that Excel sheet curve, the minimum figure of the optimum dose of the coagulant you have to calculate, and you have to write in that fashion as it is shown in the virtual lab. So the tabular, that is the observation and data sheet, will total follow from the virtual lab how they have been instructed, because this is the MHRD portal. This is a human resource portal, government portal. So that is very authentic, and will take the because virtual lab is created from the MHRD portal. So there we will follow total the observation data sheet how they have been written. Please, Papia, scroll the paper, Papia, please. Papia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then the discussion on the result. Discussion on the result means the minimum value. Just you have to write here. We have got the minimum value, optimum, not minimum. You will write the optimum value of coagulant dosage, X milligram per liter, where we get the maximum clarity of water, that is maximum removal of turbidity. And they are the ends of the process of your reporting. So hardly it will take 30 minutes for writing the report. My dear students, for one experiment, you have to spend 30 minutes for submitting the report in a proper manner. Again, I am telling, don't bother about the procedure. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but write at your own. Okay. Am I clear, my dear students? Am I
Yes, sir.
clear, my dear students?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
But whenever next time class, I will request to everybody to kindly show us the practice in your computer, especially to Sudhir Bhattacharya. You are not attending the class regularly, so I am very happy to see your face today. So I will spend a very good day, because I have seen your presence in the class. So whenever I see your face, the days will be good for me. So I request you kindly be present every day in my class, laboratory practical class, and I want that next time you will share in your computer the link, that is the virtual lab link. You will take the class of us. Okay, Sudhir Babu.